Hello everyone! Today we will see how to make soft and fluffy idlis. To make this soft idli, take 4 cups of idli rice. Along with this, add 1 cup of urad dal. I always soak my rice and urad dal together and I grind it together. I know many people soak them separately and grind it separately, but I've been doing it like this for many years and I always get soft idlis. Whether I make my idli batter in a grinder or a mixie, I always prefer to soak together and then grind it. This way I find it to be much more easier and simpler. So along with the rice and the urad dal, add 1 cup of poha. You can use any type of poha that you have at home. Now wash all of these ingredients, wash it well, wash it for at least 2 or 3 times and then add enough water to soak this. Since we are going to grind all of these together, we need to soak it for a little longer. I usually soak this rice and dal for about 6 to 8 hours. Next, take 1 tablespoon of methi seeds or fenugreek. Soak this separately. This also will soak for some time. So after 8 hours, if you see, all of the ingredients are well soaked. The fenugreek seeds and then the rice and the urad dal is also soaked well. Now we can start making the batter. As soon as you switch on the grinder, add the methi seeds first. Before adding the rice and the dal, add the fenugreek seeds and then add a little bit of water, say about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of water, and allow the methi seeds to grind well. Let this grind for about 3 to 4 minutes till it becomes nice and fluffy. Grinding the fenugreek seeds first will give you a nice and fluffy batter, and also your idlis will be a lot more fluffy. So after about 3 to 4 minutes, when the fenugreek seeds are nice and fluffy, then you can start adding the soaked rice and dal. As you keep adding the rice and the dal, add a little water along with it. After you finish adding all of the soaked rice and dal, cover the grinder and let it continue to grind. Since we are grinding the rice and the dal together, we'll have to grind this batter for a little longer. So it might take anywhere between 30 to 40 minutes depending on the grinder you use. Whenever you open the grinder to check, your grinder should be grinding the batter easily. It shouldn't be grinding it with difficulty. By that I mean, if the batter looks to be very thick, then add a little water. But don't add too much water. If you add too much water while grinding the batter, your idlis will become flat and it won't be nice. So now and then keep opening the grinder and see if it's grinding easily. It should be smooth like this. Also place a spoon or a knife like this in the corner to release all the batter that is stuck to the corner of the grinder, so that everything comes together and the batter will be nice and smooth. So this is after about 30 minutes. If you can see, the batter is nice and smooth now. At this point you can stop the grinder, but what I do is I add my salt along with the batter at this stage itself. You can add the salt once you remove the batter from the grinder, but I feel if you add the salt now itself, then the salt will be well dissolved and well mixed with the batter. I add about 2 tablespoons of rock salt. This is crystal salt. Add it in and again close the grinder and let it grind for about 2 minutes till the salt is well mixed with the batter. Then switch off your grinder and transfer the batter into another vessel. Many of you have asked me for this grinder review after seeing my kitchen video. This is a very nice grinder. I love this grinder and I've been using it for more than 2 years. I'll post the review of this grinder and then give the link in the description box. You can check that out if you need. Now once you transfer the batter into a vessel, you need to beat the batter well. For about 3 to 5 minutes, beat the batter nicely and incorporate air into the batter. I am dividing the batter into another smaller vessel because I don't want the batter to overflow once it ferments. I usually soak my rice and dal in the morning, and then by evening I grind the batter and then I leave it overnight for it to ferment. You need to cover it and leave it aside for about 8 to 10 hours for it to ferment. This is the next day morning. As you can see, the batter has fermented and it has risen well. You don't have to add salt to the entire batter like how I did. You can separate the batter into 2 vessels and just add salt to the one that you're going to use immediately and let it ferment. Before making idlis, make sure you don't overmix the batter. You should not disrupt the air that has formed. So just gently mix the batter and then start pouring the batter into the idli molds. Also make sure you grease the idli mold well so that the idli will come out easily without sticking to the mold. By this time, add a little water to your idli pot and let it boil so that it will be ready for us when we place the idli into the boiling water. Place the idlis into the idli pot and let it cook for about 8 to 10 minutes in medium flame. After about 8 minutes, open it and check. Put a knife or a toothpick inside one idli and if it comes out clean, then it is done. Once it's done, don't remove the idlis immediately from the pot. Switch off the flame, cover the idli pot and let it rest for 3 minutes. The idlis will continue to cook in the remaining heat. So after about 3 minutes, remove the idlis from the idli pot. So our super soft and fluffy idlis are done. To remove the idlis from the plate, take a spoon or a knife, dip it in water and then try to remove the idlis and it will come out very clean. But before you start removing the idli from the mold, make sure the idlis have cooled down slightly. If it's still very hot, then it will definitely stick to the mold. So let it cool down a little bit and then take a spoon, dip it in water and then remove it from the mold and it will come out easily. So this is it, a very easy and simple South Indian idli recipe is done. In South India, each family has their own recipe for a soft and fluffy idli, and almost every family makes lovely idlis at home. This is the recipe that I follow and it works very well for me. It's a little different from the normal idli recipe because everybody grinds the rice and dal separately, but I prefer to do it together. I feel that this method is much easier and simpler. I don't find it very difficult to make these idlis. Serve these idlis with sambar, chutney or a chicken curry and it's a lovely breakfast for a morning. So do try out my simple method to make soft and fluffy idlis. Until next time, bye bye.